Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 4-3 win against Royal Antwerp tonight in the Europa League, last 32, leg 1. I'm exhausted, I really am. What a mental mindfuck of a game that was, just everything in it. Poor refereeing, shocking VAR decisions, loads of goals, red cards, everything, you name it, it was all there. And what a victory that was. Sloppy defending from us for the goals, a poor decision from the referee and VAR for their second goal. But some good goals from us and 2 penalties as well for us as well. Just I'm struggling to find the words to describe that game, but let's not take away, it was a great performance from the team again. Sloppy defending, but it was another typical European performance from us. Fantastic all round. What an advert for us, what an advert for the game, what a bad advert for VAR and referees it is. But we go into the next leg next week in a very, very strong position, obviously holding the lead and the 4 away goals as well. That's fantastic. Antwerp tonight weren't great. They hit us on the break. They done well to get their goals, a couple of stunning goals by the way, and a fluky penalty they got. But at the same time, I think they were there for the taking. Their keeper before he got subbed was shocking at distribution. He seemed to spill a lot. He went to come and punch a lot as well, and we maybe could have taken a wee bit more advantage of that. But that's just by the by. The game itself, I'm not wanting to get into too much because Dave and I are recording a podcast straight after this, so this will be out before the main podcast. I'll edit the main podcast tomorrow. The game itself overall, there's a lot to be happy about, a lot to be angry about. I would say overall the result kind of was justified. I think we slightly shaded it. Antwerp certainly tired towards the last 5-10 minutes as well, and we taken advantage of that as well. We had a few chances where we should have buried, especially going 1v1. Granted, Antwerp had a couple of chances as well, where not long after we scored our fourth, they made McGregor pull off a great save with his feet. 3 minutes into it though was the first of the bad VAR decisions and refereeing decisions as well, as there was a clear handball in the Antwerp box. Clear as you like. The referee actually stopped the play so VAR can review it, and it gave us a no penalty. It clearly hit the guy's arm and it fell into the path of our player. His hands were down at the side of his body, granted, however it did change the direction of the ball, so if that's not a handball, I don't know what is. I've actually given up trying to understand what the handball is now, because it just seems to differ from referee to referee, and you would think that with somebody sitting watching, or a number of people sitting watching the video replays in VAR, it would get it right, but clearly not. No long after that, there was a shocking challenge on Tavernier where the boy led with the studs, just about caught him. Should have been a yellow card. A foul was given, should have been a yellow card, not given. Whereas not long after that, Barisic picked up a yellow card for a non-event of a challenge. Was it a foul? Absolutely, but it was nowhere near yellow card worthy. Just a number of baffling decisions the referee was making tonight. The big downside of the game tonight though is Tavernier had to go off injured. It wasn't the challenge with the studs that led to the injury, it was just an innocuous challenge. It was a 50-50 ball and there was no malice in it at all. It was just two players going for the ball, and I think it was a bit of a clash of knees. Tavernier tried to play on, arguably incorrectly, but he couldn't continue and he got subbed, so that's certainly a big doubt, and we're going to get into it in the main podcast. But there was a ready-made replacement there in Patterson. Stupid boy. But as I said, we'll get into that in the main podcast. However, we did go 1-0 up on the 38th minute with Aribo scoring. There was a long ball played up to Roof by Goldson. Roof got a touch, the keeper came out, spilled it. Lovely from Morelos, who laid it off to Aribo, who placed a shot from 25 yards out into an empty net. Brilliant. Just great vision by Goldson, again with a long diagonal ball. Roof, I don't know, he never done much in it, to be honest. He was disappointing tonight. He seemed a few yards off the pace, not sharp at all, but immense from Morelos to nip in there before the keeper could try and even regain it, and got in, and just a great composed shot from Aribo as well. However, it was all undone in the 45th minute when they drew a goal back. It was a free kick from 30 yards on the right. It actually stemmed from the free kick that Barisic gave away. It was a foul, and that was the one he got booked for. But it was floated into the middle of the box. Their attacker completely unmarked, and a lovely glancing header into the top left. It was a lovely header, but the marking was abysmal. The goals we've lost this year have came from out of nothing and from poor marking generally. This, the guy had about a foot either side of him, completely unmarked, and it was allowed to get the header off. It was a great header, granted, great execution, but he should have never been allowed that space in the first place. Then there was 4 minutes injury time given. 3 minutes into it, Roof went off injured. Granted, he was down for about a minute. We tried to bring Kent on as he was walking off. The referee wouldn't allow it for some inexplicable reason. Kent was finally allowed on in the 50th minute, and then in the 51st minute, 6 minutes into a 4 minute injury time, a penalty was given, and it was a disgrace once again from the referee and VAR. Davis tries to go for the ball in the box. He did make contact with his leg when he tried the challenge, but the boy flung himself down. It was as clear as day. It wasn't quite as bad as a Yeti's, but it was certainly, he flung himself down. There was no way that he would have fell that way when he got tapped for the back. He got tapped from the right side, I think it was, and he fell down on the left side. Just absolutely bizarre. The referee fooled, and what was worse, VAR was tricked by it as well. As I said online, I'm being an advocate for VAR, but it's only as good as the absolute muppets that are running it in the boxes up there. But duly, the penalty was given, and they scored it. Into half-time, we came out the traps flying. I felt we were going for it, certainly. There was a good piece of passage of play on the 56th minute. There was big claims for a penalty. Our players were clearly incensed by a foul on Morelos. Game was allowed to play on, and nearly about 2 minutes into it, when the ball was well in our half at this point, the referee stopped the game and gave the penalty because VAR reviewed this decision. So certainly a correct decision. Morelos was getting his shirt pulled, and the yellow card was given out to the defender. But that just shows you the farcicalness of the VAR decisions. You know, player raged on and he was pulling it back. What happens if player raged on, they went up and scored? I don't understand. I'm glad it was given in this case. The good guys clearly came out for the second half in VAR, but just farcical all round. But up steps Barisic. The keeper got his hand to it, but it was too powerful and he put it into the back of the net. So 2 each, brilliant. 66th minute, it was again all undone because Antwerp went 3-2. There was a break of the ball for Antwerp off our field on the edge of our box. A simple square ball to the middle outside the box to the attacker, who was in absolute acres of space once again. He even had so much time, he actually had time to compose himself and hit a curling shot in off the left post and in. Just the marking, it was all down to the marking there. Poor. Made a couple of substitutions at that point. Kamara and Arfield off, Hadji and Jack on. Kent had came on by this point as well, and on the 83rd minute Kent had pulled a goal back with an absolute stunning goal. The ball was worked from a throw-in on the left side near the goal. Kent gets the ball, feeds it to Morelos, who passes back to him outside the box, works his way into the box, past 3 defenders, cuts inside and blasts a high shot into the back of the net. That is what we bought Kent for. Just individual pieces of brilliance like that, just so tightly packed in the box, walks through them almost. Great vision to start it off as well, just absolutely brilliant from him, and the momentum completely swung in our favour because it was all us after that, and we duly got our goal on the 87th minute with a penalty after a handball in the box. Second yellow card for the defender. Clear handball, clear as you like. Well done from the referee for a change on this one. I don't think VAR even needed to look at that one. Up steps Barisic again on the 90th minute. Again, bearing in mind there was, for some inexplicable reason, there was another 3 minutes before the penalty could be taken. Barisic though, up steps, sends the keeper the wrong way and into the back of the net. Brilliant. Kent could have got himself another one shortly after that where he went one-on-one with the keeper, but a good save. However, they could have pulled a goal back as well because we went right up the park from that one, and McGregor pulled off a fantastic save with his leg after going one-on-one as well after a mistake from Aribo. So just a mental period of play there, just a mental game all round. We'll get into it in more depth when Dave and I talk about it shortly, but absolutely brilliant from Rangers once again. Leads us up nicely into the next game, which is against Dundee United on Sunday. Another big game. Roof went off injured in the game as well. He's banned for the Dundee United game anyway. Morelos is back, fortunately. Got to need to wait and see what's happening with Tavernier. That could be quite a dangerous one where we're really lacking in cover now because of the stupidity of Patterson. But we'll need to wait and see. So, as I said, Dave and I are about to record. I'll get that edited tomorrow and out for you probably tomorrow afternoon. So, thanks for listening and goodbye.